UK!
Protesters accused the British government of helping create the jihadist menace by backing Syrian opposition forces, which went on to join Islamic State. Demonstrators also called on London to break off relations with governments who've been directly funding the rebels, while calls for the UK to send troops to the Middle East are increasingly becoming louder. Well, let's try and cross now to RT's Polly Boyker, who's been following the developments for us all day. Who's beating the war drums the loudest, Polly?
Well, there's speculation that Parliament could be recalled this week in order to discuss a potential Commons motion that would allow Britain to join in those airstrikes that the US and now France as well are carrying out in the region. And there are an increasing number of hawks within the coalition government who are talking about Britain stepping up its involvement in the battle against the Islamic State. But it's not just within the government. We've had a former Prime Minister, Tony Blair, talk about sending troops into the region. He said that airstrikes can contain the Islamic State, but they'll never defeat it. So unless you're prepared to send in ground troops, you can't expect to really defeat these terrorists. So he's advocating sending boots on the ground. And despite the fact that there's a legacy of the Iraq War that he started along with George Bush back in 2003. It dragged on for almost a decade and cost the UK more than £9 billion. So critics say that the instability left in Iraq as a result of that war that Tony Blair helped to start is one of the reasons and the factor that facilitated the rise of the Islamic State in the first place and contributed to the instability that we have in the region now. But there are some more moderate voices among British politicians who say, yes, we do need troops on the ground, but let those troops be from Iraq's neighbours, from other Arab countries. Otherwise, if you send in Western troops into Iraq and into Syria, well, then you're going to have the Islamic State present that as Western imperialism and Western intervention once again. And that could actually help to recruit more people to their cause. So a sense that they have to tread very carefully, watch their step, and act tentatively for the moment.
Watch this space, as it were. Polly Boyker speaking to us from London. Thank you for the update.